Good morning. My name is Randy Minton, and I'd like to welcome you to 2101 Principles of Accounting 1. You can do me the favor of any time you email me or send me a text message that you reference your course number, and I'll pop over here to it so you can see it. It's 2101, and the CRN number, that's course reference number, is 10011. And I'll need one of those two in order to be able to find you efficiently. Since we are all online here, I don't get to see your faces, and some of you I may know from the second course, but for those of you coming in, and this is the first course, I may not have ever seen you, so I don't have really a face to match with the name, so I may not know exactly which class you're in. So if you would make sure that you do include the CRN number. That's probably the easiest one, or the 2101. Either one is fine with me, as long as I have something to reference. There is um, a link here to your academic calendar. You should look at that. This class starts on the 26th of May, which is tomorrow, and it will end on July the 20th. And that's at that date, everything will be in, and um, I will be doing your grades the very next day. But you're going to see how you can always calculate them on your own. Um, anyway, here are some syllabus highlights. Of course, that's my name at the top. And when I'm in the office, I'm in Lewis 217. Lewis, that's the Stafford Business Building. And I'm in 217 there, but I'm rarely going to be there during the summer. I'm going to do a lot of traveling, and so it's going to be difficult for you to collect me there. So just use this second phone number over here, 478-279-4139. That's my personal phone, and it's a lot easier to connect with me there. But as I say, I'll be traveling and doing a lot of the traveling in the mountains, which is difficult from an email perspective. So it may be 24 hours or even 36 before I respond back to you. Try to send me a text if you can to let me know that you've sent an email even, so that I can make arrangements to try to get to the email. But if you ask a question that I think would interest the entire class, then what I will do is I'll post the question and an answer with anonymously, of course. I won't post it with your name on it, but I'll post the question and the answer to the announcements page or to the discussion board, one of the two. And I will be creating a discussion board. Not that I'm going to ask you to get out there and do it. It's mostly for your benefit. If you have questions, you can pop them out on the discussion board, and it'll be available for other students to answer or myself, whichever one is appropriate. I have some virtual office hours Monday, Wednesday from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m., Tuesday, Thursday from 8 to 10 a.m., and other times by appointment. So if you want to call me and have a conversation about your grades or anything like that, just um, call that 478-279-4139 number anytime during these virtual office hours. If you're unable to reach me at that time, it may be because I've got somebody else on the line, or it may be again, if I'm traveling in the mountains, sometimes it's very difficult to get phone reception. So I'll do the best I can, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can and set up some time for you and I to have a conversation. Okay, so when you do correspond with me, if you use email, uh, use the randy.minton at abac.edu address. Don't send it through the Georgia View email function because I rarely check that thing. I've got something in the neighborhood of 7 or 8 email addresses, all of which funnel down to one, but I can't make that happen through Georgia View. So this one here, when you send it into the ABAC, it comes immediately to another centralized email address and allows me to get it faster. Okay. Sometimes, and again, with this Georgia View, I check it very rarely. So if you send me something through Georgia View and I don't respond, don't be surprised. So please send it to randy.minton at um, abac.edu. Okay, so let's talk about the syllabus highlights in terms of the grading scale. Now, what I do is I have 6 modules, including the final examination. So let's talk about the first 5 modules. Each one is worth 20 points. So you have chapters 1 through 5 worth 20. You have an exam worth 20, the first exam, the second exam worth 20, chapters 6 through 10 worth 20, and exam 3, which is worth 20. Now that adds up to 100 points, but I'm going to subtract one of those, the lowest of those. So understand, if you had all 5 of those perfect, I'm still going to subtract 20 points because the last module, the final module here, is worth 20 points, and that must be taken. Must be taken. So let's assume first. Well, let's just pop over and I'll show you what I'm talking about here. This is done for the 2102 class, but you have one already posted to your um, class that does the same thing. It's just the only difference really is in the number of chapters here that we're talking about. Yours are 1 through 5, and down here 6 through 10. They just have different chapters. Okay, so let's assume for a second that you went through and you were fantastic, and you did the first homework module perfectly, did the first exam, second exam perfectly, did the second homework module of 6 through 10 perfectly, and examination 3 perfectly, and then did not do the final. Well, we're going to throw out one of those modules up here, irrespective of what it is. Would be the lowest that we're throwing out. All right. And if the lowest is 20, the lowest is 20. So that would leave you with 80 since you didn't do the final. And the highest score you can get is a B. So you're encouraged to do the final because if you take that same information here and you did the final, now you have a 90 and you have an A. And this is if you only got half the points. So just be aware that if you don't do the final, I don't care. That final's not done. The best you can do in the class is a B. So you need to be aware of that and make sure that you take it into consideration. Okay, let's see here. This just tells you where that template is, and I think I've got it included in your class anyway, so you shouldn't have to worry about going out there to get it, but it is available through my Google Drive if you want to pull it from there. It doesn't matter to me. And so the syllabus highlights in terms of the schedule of work. And when you look at your syllabus, this is at the far end of the syllabus, well, it's actually the next to the last thing. And what you have over here down the left-hand side are all of the weeks of that this class runs. Over here, you have what homework is due or what examinations are due. So let me just read through the first one. Read chapters 1 and 2. Homework for first 2 chapters is on Georgia View and it'll be under, by the way, the assessments and then quizzes, okay, where you'll find every one of your examinations and homework, by the way. It's due the June the 7th, and there's an important date here. Drop ad ends on May the 27th. So what will happen here, just so you know, on the 28th, I will post that first homework assignment because I don't want to do it because there's a funky thing with the way the Georgia View works that if I don't wait till the end of drop ad, I may not pick somebody up and then they don't have access to the examinations or whatever. Now all the rest of them after that will be posted in time. And this one actually still has plenty of time. You have the 27th or 28th until June the 7th. So what is that? 10 days or so to do that for those first 2 assignments. But you should go ahead and start reading ahead. And then, oh, and let me just mention to you, in terms of the requirements for this class, you need to have a book. You can have a rental book. You can have a version that's 2 generations old. I mean, I really don't care. I wouldn't spend a lot of money. The reason I wouldn't spend a lot of money is because I'm probably going to change books in the fall. This is the 2101 class, so you don't want to have to buy another book when you go into 2102. So find something inexpensive, if you can, and then use it. I'm not going to take any assignments out of that new book anyway. It's just more for your satisfaction. There's lots of ways to get to that book. I think you can get it from you can get an ebook and many other things. So do whatever you think you want to do in terms of your own comfort level with whether you need a hard copy book or whether you can do it online. It's perfectly up to you. Um, and that should get you serve you well going forward. See if I missed anything. I don't really think so. Um, okay, so that takes care of this, and then I'll be posting something here for you in the next couple of days. So thanks very much for your attention, and I'll see you later in class.